He stood still when he heard her steps. Slow, careful, almost shy. Ji-hoon did not turn around at first. He just breathed once, like he needed a second to hide whatever was inside his chest. "Are you awake?" Hana asked. He nodded, just once. She let out a quiet sigh. "Everyone thinks you're still unconscious." "I know." "You should tell them." "Not yet." Hana looked at him, confused. "Why are you doing this?" His jaw tightened. "I just need time." "Time to run away from your fiancé?" she whispered. He flinched. Not much, but enough. "I don't want to talk about her." "Then why am I here?" she asked. He finally turned to her. His eyes were tired, but softer than she remembered. "Because you're the only one who didn't ask me for anything." Hana looked down. "I didn't even know you were a CEO." "Exactly." A short silence settled between them. Heavy, warm, awkward. He stepped closer. "Stay. Just a little." "Why?" "I don't know." She almost smiled. Almost. "You're strange." "I know." At around 200 words, the CTA must appear. Ji-hoon spoke again, voice lower. "Listen, before this gets more complicated, I should warn you. I'm not someone who gives peace to people around me. If you stay close, you'll get dragged into things you don't want." Hana swallowed. "I'm already dragged in." He looked at her like he didn't expect that answer. His breath softened. "You always talk like that?" "Like what?" "Simple, honest, straight to my face." "It's the only way I know." He nodded slowly, as if that affected him more than it should. Then he sat on the bed, pretending to adjust the blanket, pretending not to watch her reaction. "You're not afraid of me," he muttered. "No," she said quietly. "Everyone else is." "I'm not everyone else." His hand froze for a second. The door echoed faint voices in the hallway. People searching, nurses passing, his fiancé's family's loud requests filling the floor. Ji-hoon looked at Hana again. "If they find out I'm awake, everything starts again. The wedding, the meetings, the pressure. And you'll have to marry her," Hana said. He didn't answer. His silence was enough. Her fingers touched the edge of the curtain. Soft, nervous. "Do you want me to help you hide?" He looked up too fast. "Would you?" She nodded. And that was it. The moment everything shifted. Ji-hoon's voice dropped. "Then stay. No matter who calls you, no matter what they say, just stay." Hana hesitated. "You're asking too much." "I know. But I'll stay for now." Ji-hoon exhaled like he had been holding that breath for days. Their eyes met. Too long, too close. The kind of days that shouldn't happen between a runaway CEO and a girl who came to deliver vegetables. He whispered, almost afraid of the truth slipping out. "Don't look at me like that." "I didn't do anything," she murmured. "You did, and I felt it." Her heartbeat jumped. She turned away, but he caught the corner of her sleeve. Not tight, just enough to stop her. "Hana." She froze. "You came into this room by accident, but don't leave yet." The curtain moved with the draft. Outside, the hospital noise grew stronger, closer, more chaotic. His secret was seconds from bursting. Hana's voice came out thin. "What if someone sees?" "Let them see you," he said quietly. "Just not me." She looked at him again. His expression was steady, but his eyes were asking for something he couldn't say. "Fine," she whispered. "I'll stay until they pass." Ji-hoon let go of her sleeve, slowly, reluctantly. He leaned back, closed his eyes, and for the first time since he faked his coma, he looked peaceful, but only because she was there. Hana sat on the small chair beside the bed, trying to make herself smaller, quieter, less noticeable. Ji-hoon kept his eyes closed, not sleeping, just pretending again. It was strange how natural it seemed for him, like he'd been hiding long before this room. After a moment, he spoke without opening his eyes. You don't have to sit so far. I'm not far, she said. You're halfway across the room. She hesitated, then moved her chair a little closer. The sound of metal scraping softly against the floor made him open one eye. That's better, he murmured. Hana looked away quickly. I'm only here until they pass. I know. But they both knew he didn't want her to leave when that happened. A distant voice echoed in the hallway. A man, strong tone, impatient. Ji-hoon stiffened. That's her father. Hana peeked through the small gap in the curtain. Several people in suits walked by, checking every room, stopping nurses, demanding answers. Her voice dropped to a whisper. They're really looking for you. Of course, he said simply. A wedding is expensive. Losing a groom is bad business. She turned to him, surprised by the bitterness in his voice. Is that really how it feels to you? Ji-hoon opened both eyes now, staring at the ceiling. It doesn't feel like a wedding. It feels like a contract. And you don't want it. He didn't reply at first. He just breathed out slowly. I wanted a quiet life. That's all. Hana blinked. Something in her chest tightened. You're a CEO. How can you want a quiet life? I didn't ask to be one, he said. His voice was low, almost tired. My father pushed it on me. Everyone around me expects me to endure it. Even my fiancé, especially her. Hana sat still. The room felt smaller, like his words were filling it. Why pretend a coma? She finally asked. He looked at her with an honesty that made her throat tense. Because I didn't know any other way to stop everything. That's not running away, she said softly. That's drowning. Ji-hoon stared at her like she had touched something he kept locked away. Maybe. He shifted slightly, careful with his movement. Do you think I'm pathetic? No. You should. But I don't. He almost smiled. That's your problem. She folded her hands together. So what happens now? I wait, he said quietly. For what? For things to fall apart on their own. They always do. Hana shook her head. That sounds lonely. It is. Another silence formed. Not uncomfortable this time, just honest. Ji-hoon watched her hands, her posture, how she tried not to disturb anything. Why did you even come to this room earlier? You don't work here. I was delivering vegetables to the cafeteria, she said. The nurse told me to wait in a room for a minute. She pointed to this one. He almost laughed. So everything started because of a mistake? Yes. I'm glad it did. She looked up. Her breath caught for a second. Why? Because you're the first person to look at me like I'm human. Her face warmed. She didn't know what to say. He continued, voice lower. Everyone else sees power, or money, or pressure. You saw someone lying in a bed and asked if he was awake. Hana swallowed. Anyone would ask. No, he said softly. Not anyone. The voices outside grew louder again, then faded as the group moved down the hall. Hana listened, tense, waiting until she felt the danger pass. You can leave now, Ji-hoon said. But he didn't sound relieved, more like he was apologizing. She stood slowly. Do you want me to go? Ji-hoon didn't answer. He just stared at the blanket, jaw tight, like speaking would break something. Hana reached for the curtain, but her fingers stopped before touching it. If you don't want me to go, just say it. He breathed in, sharp, unprepared. Stay, he whispered. Her hand dropped to her side. Just a little longer, he added. She nodded. Ji-hoon's shoulders relaxed, the tension leaving him like he'd been fighting it the entire time. She sat again, closer than before. He didn't comment, but his eyes softened. For a moment, they didn't speak. They just existed in the same small space, like neither of them wanted to disturb the fragile calm they'd built. Hana watched the rise and fall of his breathing. Not heavy, not strained, just real. And she realized This was the first time he wasn't pretending since she walked in. Ji-hoon's voice came out barely above a whisper. "I'm not used to someone staying without demanding anything." "Then learn it," she said gently. He let out a slow breath, his gaze melting just slightly. "I'm trying." The next morning, the hallway was quieter, the lights dimmer. The chaos from the day before had turned into soft footsteps and whispering nurses. Hana entered the room without knocking, holding a small paper cup. Ji-hoon lifted his head a little. "You came back." "You look disappointed," she said. "I look surprised." She placed the cup on the table beside him. Barley tea, warm, not too strong. He stared at it. "You brought this for me?" "You haven't had anything real in days," she said. "Pretending to be unconscious isn't exactly a good diet." He almost laughed. "True." Hana pushed the table closer so he didn't have to reach far. He took the cup, fingers brushing hers for a second. She moved her hand away quickly, but not fast enough to hide the small reaction. Ji-hoon noticed. "You're jumpy today," he said quietly. "I'm not." "You are." She looked at the window instead of him. "People were talking downstairs about you." "What now?" "They said your company is losing investors because of this situation. The press is waiting. Your fiancé's family is furious." "Of course they are," he muttered. Hana sat down. "Are you sure this is the right thing? Hiding like this?" Ji-hoon rubbed his forehead. "Every time I walk back into that life, someone else decides something for me. I can't breathe there. Here, at least I can think." She looked at him, really looked. The dark circles, the tension in his shoulders, the way he held the cup like warmth was something unfamiliar. "You don't look like someone who wants to run away," she said. "You look tired." "Maybe that's the same thing." "No," Hana said. "Running away is fear. Being tired is being human." His gaze locked on hers for a moment too long. She looked away first. "Did you eat?" he asked suddenly. "What?" "You brought me tea. Did you eat?" "I'm fine." "You didn't." His voice softened. "Hana." She froze. He never said her name like that before. Not soft, not careful. "I ate," she insisted. "No, you didn't." His voice softened. "Hana." She froze. He never said her name like that before. Not soft, not careful. "I ate," she insisted. "No, you didn't," he said calmly. "You're pale." "I'm always pale." "Not like this." She let out a quiet breath, defeated. "I was in a hurry." "To see me?" he asked. Her eyes widened slightly. "Don't say things like that." "Why not? It's true." She shook her head, trying to hide the way her ears warmed. "You're impossible." "And you keep coming back," he said. Their silence this time felt different, thicker, closer. Ji-hoon finally leaned back against the pillow. "My fiancé visited this morning." Hana stiffened. "She stood by the door," he continued, "complaining to everyone that the hospital smells bad. Then she demanded the nurse turn off my heart monitor because the beeping annoyed her." Hana blinked slowly. "She said that while thinking you were unconscious?" "Yes." "That's cold." "It's normal." "That shouldn't be normal." He didn't answer. Hana crossed her arms lightly. "Why are you marrying someone like her?" "Company reasons," he said. "Family reasons. All the boring reasons." "That's not a real answer." "It's the only one I have." She looked at him with something between frustration and sympathy. "You don't love her." "No," he said without hesitation. "Then, Hana," he interrupted, voice lower, "my life isn't simple." "Neither is staying here pretending to be in a coma." He opened his mouth, closed it, then sighed. "You're right." A nurse walked by, and Hana quickly pulled the curtain halfway. Ji-hoon watched her move, the way her hand shook slightly. "You're nervous," he said. "I'm not supposed to be here." "You can leave," he said quietly, "if this is too much." She hesitated. "Do you want me to leave?" His answer came without hesitation. "No." Her breath caught. Ji-hoon continued, softer now. "When you walk out, the room feels empty." Hana looked down at her hands. "You shouldn't say things like that." "But it's true. That's exactly why you shouldn't say it." His eyebrows pulled together. "Does it bother you?" "It confuses me." He sat a little straighter. "Then I'll be more careful." "No," she whispered. "Don't be careful. Just don't make promises you can't keep." He stared at her like she had just revealed something important, something too honest. Before either of them could speak again, distant voices echoed through the hall. Louder, urgent. Hana tensed. Ji-hoon's expression sharpened. "That's my fiancé's voice." She grabbed his arm. "Ji-hoon, do you want me to hide?" He didn't even think. "Stay. Stay close." Hana moved beside the bed, heart racing, as the footsteps stopped right outside the door. Everything was about to change again. The door opened without warning. Hana froze. Ji-hoon didn't move. He didn't even blink. His fiancée, Sarah, walked in with sharp heels and an expression that made the air feel colder. Two assistants followed, holding tablets and folders like shields. Sarah looked at Ji-hoon's unconscious body, unimpressed. "Still useless," she muttered. Hana felt her stomach twist. One assistant leaned close to Sarah. "Ma'am, the board is requesting an update." "Well, tell them the groom is still lying here doing nothing," she snapped. "Honestly, even unconscious he causes trouble." Hana clenched her hands. Ji-hoon's eyelids twitched, but he stayed still. Sarah turned abruptly, noticing Hana for the first time. "And who are you?" Hana froze. I was just—" "You don't work here," Sarah cut in. "Your clothes, the smell of outside, right? Some delivery girl." Hana looked down. "I only brought tea." "For him?" Sarah scoffed. "Why would a stranger bring him anything? What did you think this was, a charity moment?" Hana swallowed hard, trying to stay calm. "He hasn't eaten well. You should leave," Sarah said, voice cold. "People like you don't belong in rooms like this." Ji-hoon's fingers twitched under the blanket. His jaw tightened. He wanted to move. Hana could see it, but he didn't. Sarah walked closer to the bed and touched his face with a fake, delicate gesture. "Look at him. He can't even hear you. Why waste your time?" Hana's voice cracked. "He deserves kindness." Sarah laughed, loud, sharp. "You think a CEO needs kindness? No, he needs control, discipline, and someone who knows how to handle his life." Hana stepped back. The humiliation burned her skin. Sarah continued, not even trying to lower her voice. "What did you want from him? A thank you? A reward? A chance to be noticed? Pathetic." Hana felt her eyes sting, but forced herself not to look away. "I didn't come for anything." "Lies," Sarah shot back. "Girls like you always want something. Money, attention, a fantasy." Hana shook her head. "You don't know me." "I don't need to," Sarah said. "Your face tells everything. Simple, quiet, easy to use." Ji-hoon's breathing became uneven. He was seconds from breaking the act. Hana whispered, "Stop, please." Sarah tilted her head, amused. "Why? Does the truth hurt?" Hana's voice trembled. "You're being cruel." "I'm being realistic," Sarah replied. "Men like him don't look at girls like you. He is worth billions. You deliver vegetables. Let that sink in." That one hit deep. Hana felt her throat close. Sarah took a step closer until she was inches from Hana. "Let me give you advice. Leave. Never come near him again. People will laugh if they see you standing beside him." Hana forced herself not to cry. Not here, not in front of her. "I wasn't trying to stand beside him," she whispered. "Good," Sarah said, "because you never will." Ji-hoon finally broke. His hand moved slightly, too much for an unconscious man. Sarah didn't notice. She turned back to her assistants. "We're done here. His family can deal with this mess. Then she looked once more at Hana. And you? Go back to whatever small life you came from. This world isn't for you. She left. The assistants left. The door closed. Silence. Hana stood, staring at the floor, her breath uneven. The humiliation echoed in the room like someone had shouted it against the walls. Ji-hoon opened his eyes instantly. Hana. She didn't look at him. She wiped her cheek with the back of her hand. It's fine. It's not fine, he said. She's your fiancé. She had no right to talk to you like that. Hana laughed weakly. Maybe she's right. Don't say that. She is, Hana whispered. I don't belong in your world. I know that. I knew it the moment I stepped into this room. Ji-hoon tried to sit up. His hands shook. Hana, look at me. She didn't. He reached for her wrist. Not rough, not urgent, just enough to stop her from running. Hana, look at me. She finally raised her eyes. They were red, wet, but steady. Ji-hoon's voice was raw. You should never feel small because of someone like her. She humiliated me. I know. And you couldn't do anything. His breath stopped for a second. That hurt him more than anything Sarah said. Hana pulled her wrist back gently. You don't have to protect me. I'm not your problem. You're not a problem, he snapped. Too fast, too emotional. Hana stepped toward the door. I need to breathe. I can't stand here right now. Don't leave, his voice cracked. She stopped. For a second, just a second. Then she whispered, I'll come back later. I need a moment. Ji-hoon watched her walk out, and for the first time since he faked unconsciousness, he felt powerless, completely, painfully powerless. He covered his face with his hands, fingers digging into his hair. Hana, he whispered into the empty room. The humiliation wasn't hers alone. It was his, too, because he let it happen, and he hated himself for it. Hana didn't go far. She sat on a bench outside the hospital entrance, her hands pressed together, trying to stop them from trembling. The cold air helped a little, but the words still echoed in her head. Pathetic. Simple. Girls like you. Her chest tightened again. Someone sat beside her. She didn't look until she heard a familiar voice. Don't take it personally, the nurse said gently. She talked down to 3 of us this morning. Hana blinked, surprised. Really? Really, the nurse nodded. She treats the entire staff like we're beneath her. And you're just a girl who walked in with warm tea. You became an easy target. Hana stared at the ground. But maybe she's right. I really don't belong. No, the nurse cut in firmly. She was cruel because she's insecure. People only attack like that when they feel threatened. Threatened? By me? Hana laughed once, hollow. I'm no one. That's the point, the nurse said. You're no one, but he looked at you. Hana's breath caught. He? She whispered. CEO Kang, the nurse said. I saw the way he watched you yesterday. It wasn't normal. Not for someone pretending to be unconscious. He noticed you more than he noticed his fiancée. Hana's throat tightened. He didn't? He did, the nurse said. And she noticed too. That's why she lashed out. People like her hate losing control. Hana looked away, her cheeks warming slightly despite the cold. After a moment, the nurse asked quietly, Are you going back upstairs? I promised him, Hana whispered. I said I'd come back. Then go, the nurse said gently. Someone like him, he probably hasn't had anyone stand beside him in a long time. Hana nodded slowly, breathing out the last trace of humiliation. Not gone, but lighter. She stood. Thank you. Any time, the nurse smiled. And Hana, don't lower your head because someone rich told you to. Rich doesn't mean right. Hana took a steady breath and walked back inside. Ji-hoon sat on the edge of the bed, elbows on his knees, hands clasped tightly. He looked like someone waiting for news that might break him. When Hana stepped in, he stood immediately. Hana? She stopped a few steps away. I said I'd come back. His shoulders dropped with relief. I thought you wouldn't. I needed to calm down, she said softly. That's all. He looked at her like she was the only solid thing in the world. I'm sorry for everything she said, for not stopping her, for... You couldn't, Hana interrupted. If you reacted, the whole hospital would know you were awake. That's not an excuse. It's reality. Ji-hoon looked away, jaw tight. She had no right to talk to you like that. Not ever. Not in front of me. Hana blinked. Especially? He exhaled, frustrated with himself. Because He stopped. Words caught in his throat. Hana stepped closer. You what? He swallowed hard. I didn't want you to get hurt because of me. Her breath softened. Something inside her eased for the first time since that humiliation. I didn't break, she whispered. Just bruised. Ji-hoon's lips parted slightly, like the honesty stunned him. Still, I should have protected you. You can't protect someone while pretending to be unconscious, she said gently. I know, he said, and it kills me. Hana took another step forward. Not close enough to touch him, just close enough that he felt it. I don't want you to blame yourself, she said. Ji-hoon looked at her slowly, carefully. I do anyway. She shook her head. Don't. He let out a shaky breath. You're the only person who's walked into my life without asking for something. I didn't expect any of this. I didn't know Ji-hoon, she whispered, stopping him before he said something too raw. But the damage was done. The line had shifted. Something heavier sat between them now. He sat back on the bed, as if he needed steady ground. Hana, he said quietly, if you stay with me through this, I'll owe you more than you understand. I'm not here because you owe me anything, she replied. I'm here because you asked me to stay. His breath stilled. Hana continued, softer. And because I wanted to. Ji-hoon's head lifted sharply. You wanted to? Yes. The tension between them grew warm, almost dangerous. For the first time since yesterday, Ji-hoon's expression changed. A small, fragile smile appeared, something rare, something almost hidden. Then, I'm glad you're here. Hana sat in the chair beside him again. This time, they were closer. No hesitation, no distance. He watched her for a moment, then said quietly, whatever happens next, you won't face it alone. Hana's eyes widened slightly. I won't? No, he said, not anymore. The humiliation that crushed her hours ago loosened completely. Because now, she wasn't standing alone. Hana stayed beside him while the late afternoon light dimmed through the window. Neither of them spoke for a while. They didn't need to. The silence between them wasn't heavy anymore. It felt steady. Ji-hoon leaned against the pillow, arms crossed, thinking deeply. Hana watched him out of the corner of her eye. His brows were knit together, his breathing slow, like he was planning something dangerous. Finally, she asked, what's going on in your head? He didn't answer right away. Then, I can't hide forever. Hana's fingers tightened around the edge of her chair. Then, you're going to go back? No, he said firmly, not like before. She nodded slowly. So, what will you do? He looked at her as if he was weighing whether he should say it. I'm going to expose everything. Hana blinked. Everything? My father's pressure, my fiancé's manipulation, the deals behind the marriage. All of it. That's huge, she whispered. I know. And dangerous. I know that too. Hana swallowed. What if they retaliate? What if they ruin you? They already tried, he said quietly. That's why I'm here. Faking a coma was the only way to stop them for a moment. Hana leaned closer. So what changed now? He looked straight into her eyes. You walked in. Her breath caught. Me? Yes, he said. You looked at me like I had choices, like I wasn't trapped. I haven't felt that in years. Hannah shook her head lightly. I didn't do anything. You did, he said. You made me want to fight. The words hit her hard, too honest, too raw. She looked down, unable to hold his gaze. So, what's the plan? Ji-hoon rubbed the back of his neck. I need to gather proof. Emails, documents, messages, everything they used to push the marriage. From here? She asked. No, from my office. Hannah looked at him in shock. You can't go there. If they see you alive. I'm not going, he said. You are. Her heart dropped. Me? Yes. She stood up too fast. No, absolutely not. I can't step into your company. I don't even know how to talk to people in suits. They'll throw me out the moment I open my mouth. They won't, Ji-hoon said calmly. How do you know? Because you'll be with someone. Hannah stiffened. Who? Ji-hoon looked toward the door. My secretary, Hyun-suk. He's loyal. He hates the marriage even more than I do. He'll help you. Hannah sat back down slowly. Why would he help me? Because I trust you, Ji-hoon said softly, and he trusts me. Hannah felt her chest tighten. You're asking too much. I know. I'm not used to doing things like this. I know that too. Then why? Ji-hoon interrupted gently. Because you're the only person I can ask. Her lips parted. She didn't know what to say. He continued, voice steady. If I walk into the building, they'll force me back into everything. Sarah will announce the wedding. My father will drag me into meetings. Investors will demand explanations. But you're invisible to them. That's not comforting, she muttered. It is, for this, he said. No one will suspect you. No one will watch you. They won't even imagine you're connected to me. Hannah sank back into her chair. I'm scared. I know. That doesn't bother you? It does, he said quietly. But I'm more scared of going back to that life and staying trapped forever. Hannah looked at him. His eyes weren't cold. They were pleading in a way he probably didn't realize. She whispered, What if I ruin everything? You won't. How can you be so sure? He leaned forward slightly. Because you're careful and honest, and you won't let fear control you. She let out a shaky breath. You sound like you believe in me more than I do. I do, he said simply. Another silence. Stronger now. Warmer. Hannah finally nodded. Slowly. Okay, tell me what I need to do. Ji-hoon exhaled in relief. Tomorrow morning, Hyun-suk will meet you at the back entrance of the company. He'll give you access to my office files. Won't he be suspicious of me? He already knows about you. Her eyes widened. What? How? I asked him to look into you yesterday. Hannah stood up again. You what? I needed to know who was in my room, he said calmly. You walked straight into the most sensitive moment of my life. And you investigated me? Yes. That's not normal. For CEOs, it is. Hannah threw her hands up. Unbelievable. Ji-hoon watched her with a small, almost amused smile. You're angry. Of course I'm angry. You're cute when you're angry. She froze. Don't say things like that. Why not? Because they confuse me. Ji-hoon leaned back, eyes softening. Then I'll stop. He didn't. Hannah sighed and sat down again. What happens after I get the files? I use them to break the marriage contract and everything tied to it. Hannah swallowed, hard. This will change everything for you. Yes. And for me? He looked at her with an intensity that made her heart skip. Yes, he said quietly. For you, too. Her pulse jumped. He didn't explain. She didn't ask, but the truth hung between them. Whatever they were stepping into, it wasn't just a plan anymore. Hannah barely slept. She lay on the narrow bed in her small room above the vegetable shed, staring at the ceiling, replaying everything Ji-hoon had said. You're the only person I can ask. You made me want to fight. Yes, it will change things for you too. Those words didn't leave her. They sat heavy in her chest, warm and frightening at the same time. By dawn, she had already washed her face twice, changed into the cleanest clothes she owned, and tied her hair back 3 times before giving up. Nothing made her feel prepared. Before leaving, she whispered to herself, "Just don't embarrass him." It didn't help. At the company's back entrance, Hyunsuk was waiting exactly where Ji-hoon said he'd be. Clean suit, calm face, sharp eyes. The kind of man who fit in this world without trying. "You're Hana?" he asked. She nodded. "Yes. Follow me. Don't talk to anyone unless they speak to you first." She swallowed. "Okay." As they walked through the building, eyes turned toward her. Quick glances, frowns, whispers. She kept her hands clenched to keep them from shaking. Hyunsuk pressed an elevator button. "Ignore them." "That's hard." He didn't look at her. "CEO Kang trusted you with this. That's enough." She stared at him. "You're not bothered? By what? That I'm helping him?" Hyunsuk finally met her eyes. "I've worked for him for 8 years. I've seen him forced into decisions he never wanted. If you're the one person he chose on his own, I'm not bothered. I'm relieved." The elevator opened. Hana stepped in slowly, heart racing. When they entered Ji-hoon's office, she froze. It felt like another world. Modern, cold, polished. Nothing like the warm, cluttered farm she came from. Hyunsuk moved quickly, unlocking drawers, transferring files, printing copies, gathering documents. These are emails between the chairman and Sarah's father. These are the contract clauses they hid from Ji-hoon. These are the manipulated reports forcing him into the marriage. Hana stared at the stacks. "This is so much." "This is his life," Hyunsuk said calmly. "This is what they used to trap him." Hana bit her lip, overwhelmed. "And he's trusting me with this?" "Yes." Hyunsuk looked at her carefully. "He doesn't trust easily." She felt her throat tighten. "Why would he trust me?" Hyunsuk paused for the first time. "Because you talk to him like he's human." Hana's breath shook. "He needs that," Hyunsuk added, "more than you know." She helped carry the folders, her arms full. Just as they finished, the office door swung open, hard. Sarah. She stood there in a fitted dress, eyes sharp enough to cut. Hyunsuk straightened immediately. "Ma'am?" Her gaze landed on Hana. It hardened instantly. "You again." Hana stepped back without meaning to. "What are you doing in his office?" Sarah demanded. Hyunsuk answered, "Per CEO Kang's instructions." "He's unconscious," Sarah snapped. "He can't give instructions." Hyunsuk didn't react. Hana barely breathed. Sarah stepped closer, heels clicking. "You think I wouldn't notice a nobody wandering around the executive floor? Did you come here hoping to steal something? Hoping he left you a gift?" "No," Hana said quietly. Sarah scoffed. "You look like you have no idea where you are standing." Hana felt the humiliation from yesterday rise again in her throat. Sarah looked at the files in her arms. "What is that?" Hana froze. Hyunsuk stepped forward quickly. "Company reports. I asked her to assist me." "You?" Sarah laughed. "You use random delivery girls to assist you now?" Hyunsuk didn't answer. Sarah stepped in front of Hana, lowering her voice. "Listen carefully. You don't belong here. Not in his room, not in his life, not near anything with his name on it." Hana forced out, "I'm not trying to." "You are," Sarah said sharply. "Girls like you always try. That's why I'm here, to stop people like you from embarrassing him." Embarrassing him? The words hit Hana's chest harder than she expected. Sarah leaned closer. "If he were awake, he wouldn't even look at you." Hana's eyes burned. "Go home," Sarah said. "Stay far from him, far from this building, far from everything he is." Hana whispered, "You don't know him." "I know him better than you ever will," Sarah said coldly. "Now get out before I have security escort you." Hyunsuk stepped in. "Ma'am, CEO Kang is mine to deal with," Sarah snapped. Hana felt her throat close. The humiliation blended with something else. Anger, disappointment, pain she couldn't swallow. She placed the files on the table. "I'll leave." Hyunsuk tried to stop her. "Hana." "It's fine," she whispered. "Please, don't make this worse." She walked past Sarah, keeping her head down so no one would see how much her eyes stung. Back at the hospital, Hana entered the room quietly. Ji-hoon sat up instantly. "You're back. Did—" She put the files on the cable without looking at him. "Here." "Hana," he said softly, sensing something wrong. "What happened?" "Nothing," she whispered. "Hana." Her shoulders tightened. "Just leave it." Ji-hoon stood slowly, ignoring the pain in his legs, ignoring the fact he was supposed to be unconscious. "Look at me." She didn't. "Hana," he said again, voice deeper now. "Look at me." She lifted her eyes. They were wet, bright, hurt. Ji-hoon's expression darkened. "Who did it?" "No one. Hana." She breathed out shakily. "I don't belong in your world, Ji-hoon. I don't talk like them. I don't dress like them. I can't even stand in your office without someone telling me I'm an embarrassment." His jaw clenched. "Sarah." Hana looked down. "Maybe she's right." "No," Ji-hoon said sharply. "She's not. She said you wouldn't look at me if you were awake." Ji-hoon stepped closer. "I'm awake now." Hana froze. He spoke quietly, firmly, without hesitation. "And I'm looking at you." Her breath trembled. Ji-hoon's voice softened. "Don't let her decide your worth. Not when she can't even see mine." Hana blinked back tears. I don't want to make your life harder." "You didn't," he said. "You walked into it and made me want something different." She looked up at him slowly. He held her gaze, steady and unshakable. "You matter to me, Hana, whether you want that or not." Her lips parted. Shock, fear, something warmer beneath it. But she didn't step away, and he didn't either. The clash between them wasn't loud, it wasn't violent, it was emotional, deep, unavoidable, and it changed everything. Ji-hoon didn't sit back down. He stayed standing in front of her, like he needed to make sure she didn't disappear again. Hana wiped her eyes with the back of her hand, embarrassed, but Ji-hoon didn't look away. "Hana," he said quietly, "tell me exactly what she said." "I already told you." "No, you told me the part that hurt you. I want the rest." Her shoulders stiffened. "Why?" "So I know exactly who I'm fighting." Hana shook her head. "You can't fight her. She has everything. Power, money, your family." Ji-hoon stepped closer. His voice dropped. "I'm not afraid of her." Hana looked up. "You should be." "No," he said calmly. "She should be afraid of me." Before she could answer, Hyun-suk entered the room, closing the door behind him. His face was tense, more than usual. Ji-hoon straightened. "What happened?" Hyun-suk hesitated, then lowered his voice. "They know." The air in the room shifted instantly. Hana felt her heartbeat jump. "Know what?" Hyun-suk looked at Ji-hoon. "They know." Ji-hoon didn't react at first. Then his jaw tightened. "Who told them?" Hyun-suk shook his head. "I'm not sure, but the chairman is on his way here. Sarah, too, and security." Hana took a step back. "Security?" Ji-hoon's eyes darkened. "They want to force me out of the hospital before I can speak to anyone." Hyun-suk nodded. "They want control of the narrative. If you stand up and walk out under their watch, they can claim it was all stress. They can dismiss everything." "And if I refuse?" Ji-hoon asked. "They'll spin it as a mental breakdown." Hana felt cold. "They'd do that? To their own son?" Hyun-suk exhaled slowly. "Ma'am, you have no idea what this family is capable of." Hana's hands trembled again. "Ji-hoon, maybe you should leave before they arrive. Maybe we should—" "We?" Ji-hoon repeated, his voice soft but sharp. She froze. "You said we." Hana swallowed. "No," he cut in gently. "You meant exactly what you said." Her breath caught. Hyun-suk cleared his throat quietly. "We don't have much time." Ji-hoon nodded, switching instantly into a colder, sharper version of himself. A CEO, not a man hiding under blankets. "Tell me what's happening inside the company." Hyun-suk stepped closer, lowering his voice. Sarah's family has been controlling the board for months. They want the marriage to secure a merger. They pushed schedules, manipulated reports, and isolated you from decision-making. You resisting was not part of their plan. Hana listened, stunned. But why go this far? Hyunsuk met her eyes. Because Ji-hoon is the only obstacle they can't buy. Ji-hoon didn't deny it. Hana whispered, "So they're trying to break you." "They already started," Ji-hoon said. "They just didn't expect me to wake up." Hyunsuk continued, "And now that Hana was seen in the building." Hana stiffened. "They saw me?" "3 employees reported it," Hyunsuk said. "Sarah questioned all of them. She thinks you're a problem." Ji-hoon's expression shifted instantly. Anger, sharp and controlled. "She won't touch her," he said. "Not while I'm here." Hyunsuk nodded. "Which is why they need to separate you two." Hana stepped back again. "Me? But I didn't do anything." "That's exactly why you're dangerous to them," Ji-hoon said. "You're the one person they can't predict." Her breath trembled. "Ji-hoon, I'm just a girl from the country. I don't belong in this mess." He moved closer, stopping inches away. "You belong wherever I say you belong." Hana's heart stopped. Hyunsuk spoke again, quietly urgent. "There's more." Ji-hoon turned. "What?" Hyunsuk hesitated. "Your father, he wasn't just pushing for the marriage. He signed a document last week, one you never saw." Ji-hoon's eyes narrowed. "What document?" Hyunsuk looked at Hana, then back at him. He transferred emergency executive power to Sarah's father. Hana's mouth parted. "What does that mean?" Ji-hoon's voice dropped. "It means he can officially run my company, even if I'm alive." Hana felt her stomach drop. How is that possible? "Corruption," Hyunsuk said. "Blackmail, money, everything." Ji-hoon's fists tightened at his sides. "He betrayed me." Hyunsuk didn't deny it. Hana stepped closer instinctively, as if she needed to anchor him. "Ji-hoon," he didn't look at her at first. He stared at the wall, breathing unevenly, the betrayal hitting him in waves he couldn't hide. When he finally turned his head, his voice was low, broken in a way Hana had never heard. "My father gave away everything I built, Ji-hoon, and he did it behind my back." Hana reached out before thinking, touching his arm gently. "You're not alone in this." He looked at her hand, then at her face. Something in him softened, a little, just enough. But Hyunsuk wasn't finished. "There's one more thing," he said quietly. Both of them looked at him. "Sarah found the legal documents you collected today." Hana's blood ran cold. "She knows?" Hana whispered. "Yes," Hyunsuk said. "And she told the chairman you're trying to destroy the family." Hana stepped back. No, I didn't do anything wrong." Ji-hoon moved instantly, grabbing her wrist, not rough, just firm, grounding her. "Hana, look at me." She hesitated, then met his eyes. "You did exactly what I asked," he said. "None of this is your fault." "But they think—" "I don't care what they think." His voice was steady, unshakable. Hyunsuk looked toward the hallway. "They're coming." Ji-hoon's grip on Hana tightened slightly. "Hana," he said, voice low, "no matter what happens next, don't leave my side." Her breath trembled. "I won't." He exhaled, just once, but deeply. Then the footsteps approached. Loud, controlling, familiar. The villains of his life were arriving. And this time, he wasn't unconscious. The footsteps stopped right outside the door. Hana felt Ji-hoon's grip tighten just slightly, not fear, but control. Focus, determination. Hyunsuk stepped back to the corner, expression unreadable, ready for whatever explosion was about to happen. The door swung open. Chairman Kang entered first. Cold suit, colder eyes. The kind of man who didn't walk into a room, he claimed it. Behind him came Sarah and her father. Security followed. Ji-hoon, the chairman corrected himself, tone stiff. "We need to speak." Ji-hoon didn't bow, didn't greet him. didn't even pretend to be weak. "You finally came," he said. Sarah's father stepped forward. "Why are you out of bed? The doctors said you were unconscious." "I'm awake," Ji-hoon replied, clearly. Chairman Kang's eyes scanned the room and stopped on Hana. His brows tightened. "Why is she here?" Hana froze. Ji-hoon didn't let go of her wrist. "Because I want her here." A silence fell so sharp it cut the air. Sarah scoffed. "So that's what this is? You wake up and suddenly play hero for some vegetable girl?" Hana flinched, but Ji-hoon's grip strengthened. "Don't talk about her like that," he said calmly. Sarah let out a short laugh. "Unbelievable. You defend her, but not me." Ji-hoon turned his head slowly. "You humiliated her in this room while I was pretending to be unconscious. You spoke to her like she wasn't human. I don't defend people like you." Sarah's face drained of color. Chairman Kang took a step closer. "Enough. Ji-hoon, you are creating a scandal. You need to leave with us, now." "No," Ji-hoon said. Everyone stared. Sarah's father growled. "You don't have a choice." Ji-hoon finally let go of Hana's wrist, only to step in front of her, shielding her with his body. "I'm not leaving," Ji-hoon said, "and I'm not marrying your daughter." Sarah inhaled sharply. "You wouldn't dare." "I already did," he said. Chairman Kang's voice hardened. "Ji-hoon, this marriage is a strategic alliance. Billions depend on this. You will not embarrass the family with this childish rebellion." Ji-hoon laughed once. Humorless. A father who signs away his son's authority behind his back shouldn't speak of embarrassment. The room froze. Chairman Kang's expression shifted. Shock. Then anger, then something uglier. "Who told you?" the chairman asked quietly. Ji-hoon tilted his head. "Does it matter?" Sarah's father stepped forward. "You were never supposed to see that document." "But I did," Ji-hoon said, "and now I know what you've done." Chairman Kang exhaled through his nose, frustrated. "This is exactly why we kept it from you. You're emotional, reckless. You can't be trusted to lead a company." "And you think giving my power to an outsider is better?" Ji-hoon shot back. "It was necessary. It was betrayal." The chairman slapped the table beside him, echoing through the room. Hana jumped. Even Hyun-suk tensed. "You do not get to accuse me," the chairman said. "Everything I have done is for this family." Ji-hoon stepped forward. "You didn't do it for the family. You did it for control." Sarah cut in sharply. "Enough. We don't have time for your little rebellion. You're leaving this hospital. You'll do the interviews, then we announce the wedding date." Ji-hoon turned his eyes to her. Quiet. Cold. "I'd rather die." Sarah's face flushed. "You're being dramatic." "You don't understand me," he said. "You never have." Sarah smirked bitterly. "I understand you better than this girl does." Hana swallowed, but Ji-hoon spoke before her. "No," he said, "you never understood anything about me, and you never cared to." Sarah laughed in disbelief. "You're risking everything for her?" "For myself," Ji-hoon corrected. "She's just the first person who saw me." Hana's breath shook. Chairman Kang straightened. "You will walk out of this room with us. If you don't, we will remove her from this building and press charges for corporate intrusion." Hana froze. What?" "You entered the building illegally," Sarah's father said. "We have footage. We can make this a crime." Hana's heart dropped. Ji-hoon stepped forward instantly. "Touch her, and I'll destroy all of you." Chairman Kang sighed. "This is disappointing. You're letting your emotions dictate your choices again." Hyun-suk finally spoke. "Sir, she entered under my supervision. If you press charges, you press them against me." The chairman glared. "Don't involve yourself." Hyun-suk didn't flinch. "I already am." For a moment, the power in the room shifted. Slightly, but enough. The chairman turned back to Ji-hoon. You will come with us, now. Ji-hoon stood taller, shoulders squared, eyes steady. No. Security stepped forward. Ji-hoon didn't move. Hana grabbed his sleeve lightly. Ji-hoon, please. Not to stop him, not to weaken him, just to reach him. He looked at her, 1 second of softness in the middle of chaos. Then he faced his father again. I'm done doing what you want, he said. I'm done living a life built on your choices. Chairman Kang spoke slowly, dangerously. If you walk away from this family, you walk away from everything. Money, reputation, power, your future. Ji-hoon nodded once. Good. Everyone stared. Chairman Kang's voice cracked for the first time. Ji-hoon, what are you saying? I'm saying I'd rather lose everything than lose myself. The shock in the room was absolute. Then Ji-hoon reached back, quietly, without drama, and took Hana's hand. Her breath trembled. He turned toward the door. Hyun-sok stepped to his side without hesitation. Ji-hoon looked over his shoulder at his father, calm and final. You lived your life. Let me live mine. And with Hana's hand in his, he walked out. They didn't speak until they were outside the hospital. Ji-hoon walked fast, not letting go of Hana's hand even once. Hyun-sok followed behind them, checking over his shoulder to make sure no security guards were chasing. Cold air hit Hana's face. She finally breathed. Ji-hoon stopped under the awning, exhaling deeply for the first time since the confrontation. His grip loosened, but he didn't let go. Hana, he said quietly, are you okay? She nodded, though her voice came out thin. I think so. Hyun-sok stepped in. We need to leave this area. They won't let this go. Ji-hoon nodded. Car? Already waiting, Hyun-sok said. They hurried across the parking lot to a dark sedan. When the doors closed, the small space felt safer, barely. Hana sat beside Ji-hoon, staring at her hands. He turned his head toward her. You didn't do anything wrong, he said. But her voice trembled. They want to charge me with a crime, Ji-hoon. They won't, he said firmly. They said they have footage. I don't care. She looked up slowly. But I do. Ji-hoon didn't answer at first. He stared at her, eyes softening. I won't let them touch you. Not now, not ever. Her stomach tightened at the intensity of those words. Hyun-sok cleared his throat gently. We should talk strategy. Ji-hoon nodded, shifting into CEO mode, focused, logical, controlled. We have the documents Hana collected. We can use them to expose the board manipulation. Hyun-sok added, and we can leak the marriage contract to the press. If the public sees it was forced, the board can't defend it. Hana's eyes widened. Leak? As in, reveal everything? Ji-hoon nodded. Yes. That's huge, she whispered. It'll go everywhere. That's the point. Hana looked between them. But your reputation? I'll rebuild it, Ji-hoon said, this time on my terms. The car began moving. Hana watched buildings pass outside the window. It still felt unreal. Only hours ago, she was delivering vegetables. Now she was sitting beside a CEO who had just walked away from his entire life. Hyun-sok turned in his seat. Hana, we'll need a statement from you. She stiffened. A statement? Ji-hoon frowned. She doesn't have to be involved in that. Hyun-sok nodded. But the scandal is already forming. If the world hears the wrong version first... Ji-hoon cut in. I said she doesn't have to. Hana touched his arm lightly. Ji-hoon, it's okay. If it helps you, I'll say something. He looked at her, brows pulling together. I don't want you in the middle of this. I'm already in the middle, she said softly. Something in his expression cracked. Just a little. Hyun-sok continued carefully. Your statement doesn't need drama, just truth. That you were asked to retrieve files for him. Nothing more. Hana nodded slowly. I can do that. Ji-hoon stayed quiet, staring forward. His jaw tightened, not at Hana, but at the idea of her facing scrutiny. She noticed. Ji-hoon, she said quietly, I'm not afraid. He looked at her. I am. Her breath caught. I'm afraid they'll hurt you to get to me, he said. They always hit the weakest point. I'm not weak. No, he said softly. You're not. But you're Important. Hana's pulse jumped so hard she felt it in her throat. Hyunsuk looked away politely. Ji-hoon continued, voice low. And I don't want the world tearing you apart because of me. She held his gaze. Then let's face it together. His breath stalled for half a second. Hyunsuk cleared his throat again. We're almost there. Hana blinked. Where? Ji-hoon answered. My safe apartment. Only Hyunsuk and I know the address. Safe? She repeated. You'll see. The car pulled into an underground garage. They took a private elevator up. When the doors opened, Hana stepped into a modern, minimalistic apartment. Quiet, untouched, almost too clean. This place is huge, she whispered. Ji-hoon shrugged. It's just somewhere to disappear when I need to. Hyunsuk placed the documents on the table. Everything we need is here. Ji-hoon nodded. Tomorrow morning, we go public. Hana looked up sharply. Tomorrow? It has to be fast, Ji-hoon said. If we wait, they'll twist the story first. Hyunsuk checked his phone. You two rest. I'll handle press contacts and secure a lawyer. He bowed slightly to Hana. Thank you, really. She nodded, still overwhelmed. Hyunsuk left. Silence settled again, just the two of them. Ji-hoon walked to the window, staring at the city lights below. I didn't think I'd ever do this. Which part? Hana asked. All of it, he said, standing up to them, walking away, choosing myself. He turned his head slightly, choosing someone else. Her heart tightened. You, he added quietly. Hana's breath caught. She didn't move. Ji-hoon walked toward her slowly, like he wasn't sure if he was allowed to get close. I know today was too much, for both of us, but I need you to know I never wanted you dragged into this. I dragged myself, she said softly. I could have walked away, but you didn't. No, she whispered, I didn't. He stopped right in front of her, close, warm, careful. Hana, he said quietly, after tomorrow, my life won't look the same. I know. You could still walk away now. She shook her head. I won't. He exhaled slowly, as if that answer meant more than she knew. Then, he whispered, let me rebuild from here, with you beside me. Her lips parted, stunned. Ji-hoon. He didn't touch her. He didn't step closer. He just let the words hang there. A choice, a beginning, a risk they were both taking. And for the first time, neither of them stepped back. Hana woke to soft morning light spilling through the blinds. For a moment, she didn't know where she was. The apartment was too quiet, too modern, too unfamiliar. Then she remembered everything. The hospital, Sarah, the confrontation, Ji-hoon's hand around hers as he walked away from his entire life. She sat up on the edge of the bed, heart thudding. Today, everything would go public. She washed her face, tied her hair back, and walked into the living room. Ji-hoon was standing by the window again, arms crossed, staring at the city like he was memorizing it. He had changed into simple clothes, gray sweater, dark pants. He looked younger, softer, but the tension in his jaw was still there. He turned when he heard her. Did you sleep? A little, she said. You? Barely. She nodded. That made sense. Hyunsuk entered with 2 phones and a folder under his arm. It's time. Ji-hoon didn't move right away. He looked at Hana first. Not at the files, not at the screens. At her. You ready? He asked softly. She swallowed. I think so. That's enough. The 3 of them sat at the table. Hyunsuk opened the laptop. We'll release a statement directly from your verified account. Once it's out, reporters will swarm. Your family will respond, the board will panic, but it's better coming from you first. Ji-hoon nodded. Do it. Hyunsuk began typing. The words appeared slowly, carefully. I was forced into a marriage contract I did not agree to. I am stepping down from my position at Kang Group until a full investigation is completed. Hana read the words twice. Her chest tightened. Ji-hoon, this is everything. I know. Your reputation. I'll rebuild it. Hyunsuk typed more. I will not be controlled by financial coercion or family pressure. I ask the public to allow the truth to unfold. Then he hesitated. Should I include her? Ji-hoon looked at Hana. She looked away quickly. Don't mention me. But you were a part of this, Ji-hoon said. And if people know that, they'll attack me, she replied quietly. He frowned. I can protect you. Not from millions of strangers. Ji-hoon stared at the table for a long moment, then nodded. Leave her out, he said softly. Hyun-suk finished. A single sentence at the bottom. I choose my own future. He lifted his hands. Ready? Ji-hoon reached for the mouse, but paused. Hana, he said, once this goes out, there's no going back. I know. You can still walk away. Live your life quietly. Forget all of this. Ji-hoon, I don't want to drag you into a life full of attacks, rumors, and power fights. She took a breath. You're not dragging me. I'm walking. His shoulders loosened, just enough to show how much he needed to hear that. Then, he whispered, then stay. I will, she said. He clicked post. The screen refreshed instantly. Ji-hoon Kong statement posted. Hyun-suk's phone began vibrating nonstop. It's out. They've seen it. Ji-hoon closed the laptop, leaned back, and exhaled like he'd been holding that breath for years. What now? Hana whispered. Hyun-suk checked his watch. Now, they come after him. They did. Within minutes, headlines exploded online. Calls poured in. Board members panicked. Chairman Kong called 32 times. Sarah sent a message so long, Hyun-suk refused to let Ji-hoon read it. But Ji-hoon didn't look shaken. For the first time, he looked free. Hours passed as they answered legal questions, drafted follow-up statements, and prepared evidence. Hana helped where she could, organizing files, reading documents, bringing water when neither man remembered to breathe. At one point, while she was sorting papers, she whispered, "This is really happening." Ji-hoon looked up from the laptop. Yes. A faint smile touched his lips. And you're still here. She met his eyes. I said I would be. The tension in his shoulders softened, just a little. By late afternoon, the storm had shifted. Public opinion was turning. Sympathy for Ji-hoon grew. Anonymous insiders confirmed corruption rumors. Sarah's father tried to release a counter-statement, but it backfired. People didn't believe him. Hyun-suk finally said, "We did it. You're not trapped anymore." Ji-hoon leaned back, hands covering his face for a moment. I can't believe it. Hana watched him, feeling something warm rise in her chest. Not pride, not relief, something closer. Ji-hoon lowered his hands and looked at her. Hana, he said softly, thank you. You don't have to. I do. He stood and walked toward her, slowly, carefully, like he wasn't sure if he was allowed. You saved me, he said. She shook her head. You saved yourself. I just stepped beside you. That's what saving me looked like. She didn't move. She couldn't. Ji-hoon stood in front of her, close enough that she felt the warmth from his skin. From the moment you walked into that hospital room, he said quietly, everything changed. Hana's heart thudded hard. You looked at me like I was human, he continued. Not a CEO, not a puppet, just me. He reached up, hesitating, then brushed a strand of hair off her cheek. His fingers barely touched her skin, but she felt the entire world shift. Hana, he whispered, tell me to stop, or I won't. Her breath trembled. Her voice barely formed. I'm not telling you to stop. His hand dropped to her jaw, gentle, careful. The distance between them disappeared, slowly, naturally, like they'd been moving toward this moment since the first word they exchanged. But before their lips met, Hana placed her hand lightly on his chest. Ji-hoon, she whispered, after today, everything is different. I know. You're free now. Your life is yours again. And I want you in it. Her eyes softened. Then show me. Not with promises, not with big words. Show me you'll keep choosing your own life, not a life built around me. He looked at her for a long, quiet moment. Then he stepped back, just enough to prove something. "I'll prove it," he said. "Every day." She smiled, small but real. "Then I'll stay." A quiet warmth filled the room, steady and calm. Not a confession, not a kiss. Something stronger. A beginning neither of them would regret. 3 weeks later, the world looked completely different. Ji-hoon wasn't living in boardrooms or hospital beds anymore. He wasn't pretending to be unconscious. He wasn't running from a wedding or from the weight of a family name he never chose. He was rebuilding, slowly, quietly, on his terms. And Hana was there. Every morning, she delivered fresh vegetables to a small community market near Ji-hoon's temporary office. She said it was because the owner needed help. Ji-hoon pretended to believe that. But every evening, she found herself at the same apartment, sitting on the couch while he read documents, or helping Hyun-sok label boxes, or making simple meals because Ji-hoon still didn't know how to season anything. The world outside buzzed with scandals, statements, and shifting power. Inside, things were calm, real, human. One evening, Hana arrived to find Ji-hoon on the balcony, leaning on the railing, watching the sunset. Not the city, just the sky. "You're home early," she said softly. He turned, the corners of his mouth lifting. "I wanted to see you." She looked away, embarrassed. "You shouldn't say it like that. It's the truth." She walked onto the balcony beside him. The air was cool. The light was warm. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Ji-hoon finally said, "The board voted today." Hana glanced at him. "About you?" "Yes." "And?" "They want me back." Hana stiffened. "After everything?" He nodded. "They said the company needs someone trusted, someone stable, someone honest." Hana laughed softly. "That sounds nothing like the way they treated you before." "I know," he said. "But this time, I set the conditions." "What conditions?" He looked at her with a warm, steady gaze. "Freedom, autonomy, and no arranged marriages." Hana smiled. "Good." Ji-hoon studied her face for a moment. Something gentle passed through his expression. "I meant it, you know." "Meant what?" "That I want you in my life." Her heart skipped. He stepped closer, not dramatic, not rushed, just enough that their shoulders nearly touched. "I'm not asking for forever," he said quietly. "I'm asking for now, for today, and tomorrow, and whatever comes next." Hana breathed out, slow and careful. "Ji-hoon." "No pressure," he added quickly. "Just let me be someone who chooses you, not out of desperation or chaos, but because I want to." She looked at him, really looked. He wasn't the cold CEO the world feared. He wasn't the broken man lying in a hospital bed. He wasn't the runaway groom. He was Ji-hoon, just Ji-hoon. And she realized she didn't have fear left, only warmth. "Then I'll choose you too," she whispered. A quiet relief washed over his face, like a weight he'd carried for years finally loosened. He reached for her hand, slowly, openly. She let him take it. No tension, no crisis, no noise. Just two people standing under a soft sky, holding something fragile and new. After a moment, Ji-hoon looked down at her fingers intertwined with his. "You know, you never asked me why I pretended to be unconscious for so long." Hana smiled gently. "Because you were drowning." Ji-hoon's breath hitched. "And you didn't know how to call for help," she added. He turned his face toward hers. "But you heard me anyway." She squeezed his hand. "I did." A quiet peace settled between them. He leaned just slightly closer, not demanding, not assuming, just enough for her to feel the warmth of his breath. And this time, it was Hana who whispered, "Don't stop." Ji-hoon didn't. He kissed her, soft, slow, steady. No hesitation, no fear, just truth. When they finally parted, Hana rested her forehead against his. "You're different now." "Because you stayed," he murmured. She smiled. "I'll keep staying." "Good," he whispered. I'm not letting you go. The sun dipped below the skyline, casting warm light over the balcony, over their hands, over their breathless closeness. Their story didn't end with chaos. It began with choice, his and hers, together.